Ah, hi. So today is 28th of not October but 28th of August, and I'm officially 61 days away from my 23rd birthday. Oh my gosh, I really want to say that it just slipped way too fast, but I really don't want to commit to it because it just aches that I seriously have an year gap in my resume. I tried so hard to deny the fact. Over the year, I really, really, really tried to deny this fact, but here we go. I have officially an year gap on my resume. If you ask me what's the next plane, how skillful you have gotten, I'd rather say don't ask me because I have bunch of excuses. But if I genuinely think that 5 years from now, if I happen to see this video, I would always ask myself to be genuinely honest. And that is, yes, I failed significantly. Yes, those relationships, those friendships didn't work. Yes, I am not skilled enough to get a job today. Yes, I'm so scared of interviews and failings that I can't commit to the regularities of practices. Yes, I was given a job offer last week, but I denied it because deep down I knew that I didn't want that job. I wanted something grand, something good. Yes, I failed a a lot of times. Yes, there are procrastinations, evidences, everything lying around. If you happen to ever hear this one quote from Alex when he says that when you're 22, you're not cooked or the world doesn't hate you, you're just not good at something. And that hit me hard from the very first time I remember till today. Another quote which really kept me through days and night still was, if it's not in your cards, you will never ever be aware what's going on. And it's so true because even though my heart tells me, my mind tells me, and yesterday also I happen to have this one quote which I ended up giving it on 58th day of 365 days of like literally speaking my heart out, or the personal self growth diaries, was if it's in my head, it's probably gonna hurt someday, or it will just keep me tensed. But if it's in my work, it's probably gonna save me something. I don't know what, but it does. And if you just, if not, just think that twice, that if it's in your head, it's and it's not in your words or in your work, it's not, that like in the like sheets, or you can't prove it, it's certainly something not going well. The moment I record this was yesterday when I was just randomly adding things to my cart. Well, I have zero balance in my account, literally zero. I have obviously 10,000 rupees, but that's too, like 10,069 rupees at my bank account today. As per now, 65, I guess, because that's my mom's money. Okay, I have zero at my bank account. 62 rupees, I guess, of my Amazon Pay balance, which also thanks to my older sister who had taken few money, like sister straight happened. And with that business I have something 62 rupees. But with certain curiosity I was like, I'm gonna add that to my cart. And as I was adding things to my cart, I have probably like 12 to 1400 or plus 1500 of items worth of item at my Amazon cart, 1000 worth of items at my Misho shopping, where I am genuinely very excited about the 23 t-shirt. Okay, the name print 23, which I saw was in a very pink color, nice pink color, not a vibrant pink, and I had cute little bows, all printed 23. When I wishlisted that item, I guess last week, or like 2 or 3 days back, earlier this week, I happened to realize that I didn't actually mention it, but yesterday when it affected me was the extra 23. I was like, I really need that. And earlier, because Meesho had this great policy that there's no minimum charges, okay, for delivery fee, so I wanted to buy that. And obviously, as I said, that I didn't have few money in my, like none of my was in the account, so I didn't wanted to use my mom's, although if I would have used, she would have happily accepted it. But I just wanted, why can't I just buy it from my own? And I really thought, and it was from 290 something rupees, across 300, with COD. I really thought maybe I would have some cash left, but I ended up putting something in my 1 lakh piggy bank. I bought it from Misho again, uh, because to save, and I ended up putting like literally 300 rupees there. I don't want to take it out, okay, don't get me wrong, I didn't take it out, but I just went and I had literally 3 of 50 notes and 1 of 100. And I bought that significant day only, I put 50, 50, 50, because those have little grids. I'll show you in a later video, but I happen to have it. I also bought the permanent marker for that, so that I can just, like, swipe or cut if I have just put it. Right now I have just made a Samsung note, so that's why I'm just keeping it accountable. But yeah, long story short, I happened to go there and I was like searching that if I have any money left, and I had like 50 rupees note, which was a currency note, which is like a very correct note, and 20 rupees and 10 rupees, so approx not even 100 to 90 rupees I had, just that. And that's it, that's it. I have none left there, because obviously I have splurged within days, because I have been like randomly just like buying stuff, because that's a, you can just say I'm an emotional buyer, but all the things are like worth it, because my sisters will be getting married and everything, so it's like more of a makeup skincare kind of thing, which is good, and none of them have been a worst investment, if I may say that some of them were. But yeah, you get the vision. So I ended up, and I didn't have money, but I had this 50 rupees, and I was like, what this can do, let me just add it on my savings account. You won't believe, 2 days earlier only, I had this heart awakening. I was so tempted. I was so arrogant with my brother when he told me that why you're getting fat, why the tummy is there, which I like literally, I always do. I always felt insecure, even though I have started gaining a lot of weight. I've never been to get on weight loss journey significantly, but in 2020 when COVID happened, and from there I significantly started gaining weight, and in 2022, boom, by the end of 2022 I was really up to the range of 10 to 15 kgs. I literally gained approximately 10 to 8 kgs there in that particular year, and then 2023 happened, and yeah, significantly it went up and up and up, and now obviously I am 86 to 87 kg to 85 kg. I always hit those margin of 85, 86, 87 or 84, depends. So these are the 84 to 87 kgs margin, I'm always there. And So he just literally said, because my fat just gets absorbed here, the back, the posture, everything is gone, and obviously I got tummy, and so big tummy, okay, and obviously I'm a heavy busted person, so that does looks kind of off, and I personally don't like myself looking at the mirror, even though I love being in front of camera. So maybe that's why I am recording this, because I never look this beautiful whenever I'm in front of a camera. I always see that I've always felt more beautiful when I'm in front of camera, to the point of in the front of people who really admire me. I don't have any bad feelings about him, that why he said something like that, it hurted me, but he really pointed out my insecurity, and I treated him because it was my insecurity, so it hurted. I ended up actually watching Mahabharat few episodes, because I was in that zone. Ideally, that craze happened, and I ended up watching, let's just say, initial of 14 to 15 episodes, which was very beginning, like literally it was like a television com. So it's really because it was Janmashtami happening and everything, so I was maybe in that, or and the son of uh, the Raja Shantanu and that one woman. So I ended up finding him, and he could not see, and the very first time he and the three brothers, I guess I have written somewhere. Let me just make you the see, because why I'm taking this example, because I felt a little bit relatable. I wrote little few details, because I really wanted to know more about the cultures, the Mahabharata and everything, because I know nothing about it. So obviously the Histanapur Raja was King Shantanu. He had his wife was ideally Ganga, from where the Bhishma happened, but like the original wife, or I don't know, maybe I'm sorry again. But there was Satyavati, who was one of like the who Shantanu used to love, and they had son, which is Vichitra Varya, okay, so Vichitra Varya. So they had son, which is was Vichitra Varya, and yeah, Vijit Varya, but he ended up dying, because he got some disease, and I guess he was not ready for the throne. But the Bhishma could not take the throne, because he was ideally not the Sautela something. So he took the vision that I will be always be known as Bhishma, and I will follow the not to get married and everything. I won't get into this, but he just asked that I will always be in the kingdom as long as I don't accept my defeat or something like this. It happened. But when they defeated King Salva, and there were, Ambalika, Ambika, those three things happened. There were the Kashi, I guess they came from Kashi, and one of their um, child, and they both get Amba Ambalika. They're like, obviously Vishitra could not, like, he died, so they had to call some ancestral mechanism. So some way, like the whole grand sons, you can say, of King Shantanu. So there were three ideally who were gotten there. So there were Pandava, there were this, and there were this. Okay, so the eldest one was blind by nature, but he got married to the very beautiful, uh, the one who just wrapped her eyes, because she came to realize that he could not see, but yet he was so powerful that he could just literally like defeat the elephant, okay, but he could not defeat his own insecurities. So that's where the three sons who were like ideally, so he, the one who was just given this like boon that he will always speak truth even if it's gonna hurt, because truth actually hurts. And he's just a question that how someone who could not see our enemies could be on a throne. And there were list of possible reasons how, because he was someone who was so unsure and insecure about his like he could not see, that he used to always think that people always pity him. Ideally, his wife also used to love him, but because of him, because could not imagine how much alive or lonely or how much darkness her like husband would have felt. That's why she bought that putty. But he ended up just like not having it, because he himself hasn't acknowledged all this. And yeah, the things happen, because I actually didn't watch few other episodes after that, because ideally I know what happened, but as a very animated movie kind of thing, so I know that much story only. But that's not the main crux of why Mahabharata happened. Ideally it happened with a lot of possible reasons, but what I came to realize, or whatever my imagination could go, the only character which stuck to me was him, because he was so strong. So ideally, I kept myself in his shoes, not because he was someone who I felt pity on, but why he was so insecure, what kept him, because he was not ready to accept. He had not accepted himself. There was no self love. Whatever you do to actually cover all your pains, that shows that you are strengthful. If you are ready to fight why people treat you like that, that does shows your strength. But the real question is that if someone questions, and if you could not answer that question and you start looking for the answers, the why they said it, rather than just questioning and answering it, why I was not able to answer that question, why I could not be that queen, and is it a way of just like mocking me or something. So this type of clarifying questions which third person has about your life, but you can't answer it. But in heart you know how strong you have fought for it, and your own desires are like the evidences that you try so hard. So that left me so remarked. And that's why when like Bhishma, the obviously the uncle, you can just say, he was as I will say, he knew somewhere that he was not confident. That's why when Pandava was given the literally the throne to be like the next prince, then he literally accepted that, because he himself knew, but yet the oldest was to get the opportunity. But people knew, and even though he taught him a lot of things, but he could not tell that why he is not so sure about his own wounds and veins and everything, why he's not so sure, and why he does not want to talk about it, why can't he take it as an advantage, like why only sees the defects. And that lets me out wonder how I was dealing with everything throughout the whole year. Whatever experience I had, I know exactly that's. So now coming back to what point is that whenever someone questioned me, I guess maybe at max, if I just include my family members only, they only question me what's my next plans are. Maybe one or two friends who reached me, but that also because ideally there was not a breakage. But right now, since I'm like not in touch with people, no one really asked me what my next plan is, why I'm not getting the job, why I'm gaining weight, why I'm at my lowest. I suddenly had this urge of not telling the answers of why, but the a sudden denial of, yeah, I'm doing it. The arrogance, the hurt, because that shows, like I felt like that I answered it, but I never answered that question. Till this afternoon, my sister asked me, how's the job search going on? Are you happy? No, she didn't ask that, because if she would have, I would have felt, what is this behavior? Because ideally, we don't talk about that. Peak sibling behavior, you can say, or maybe I never, like emotionally, we never talked about such stuffs. But maybe that's why this bit have been so hard, because I could not tell my vision, because it's in my head. Come back to the point only, because I know what I did. No one has any idea, because it's never in a paper. It's never on my routine. It's never have been in results. So the arrogance, whatever we felt that day, coming back to the, I felt it. I felt it so hard. But obviously the subscription got over. That's why I could not watch it more. But you get the vision, and I felt like him the whole trip throughout here. Because why I'm telling you this, because even though they have been at max 21 to 23, let's just say maximum 20 or 30 time, someone have asked me, including everyone. I have been asked, let's just say now at most, I guess 15 to 20 times, that what's your next plan. But I have been asking that question ever since I got out of the job. Even before I got the job, right in my job, I didn't know what my plan was, because I was so busy. I kept myself busy. There were evidences where I felt that I really outgrew the version. Um, Definitely outgrew a version of me. Why? Because I finally let go of few people who were kind of feeling like an anchor to my life. I always used to think that I'm someone who, I always believe in destiny, red string theories like this. I love romantic stuff. Like I love romantic stuff. I love destiny and everything. I love reading about it. I love when feels seems little like I'm a very feeling kind of person, you can just say. So every single time I had these questions around, every single time, and every single time I could answer it, because if you ask me what are my desires, I actually want to live life to the fullest, like literally. Even though uh, some days I wake up and ever since I heard this quote of Saki Khan, who says that इससे बुरा क्या ही होगा, इससे बुरा तो मौत ही हो सकता है, उससे अच्छा ही कुछ होगा. तो आई एम एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ माई लाइफ. I seriously think that this is my lowest. Not just because I could not buy certain stuff on my card, or just because I procrastinated stuff very well, or just because I not have X amount or X things on the bank, but because I don't click pictures of me. I don't make tough decisions for myself. I could not answer, and I could not imagine or answer the three only significant questions, like where I wanna live in the next 3 years, where what I wanna be with, and what I'm doing. Even though I could answer it, I know that those require hard actions to be taken, but I'm so scared. So I wonder if it's ever gonna be. But what if, in whole positive absence, like absence of what failure looks like, an absence of the knowledge of what success or failure has their own matrices in my life, what if I just go all in, like all in, not to buy certain stuff, not to feel, not to like have answers, but to genuinely accept myself. Accept myself that I am 86 kgs today. I am jobless. I am not skilled enough. I am not beautiful enough. I have this broken display glass. That's why the film camera effect is there. I'm 61 days away. I have officially 1 year of gap on my resume. I have been procrastinating on the crocheting project. I sweat a lot. That's why I don't cook a lot these days. I have commitment issues. I have been rejected by people who I never really thought that they will do so. I never accept calls. It's not just because I always get it. I have only gotten one or two within those months. So, yeah. But this is not the end. Because I'm not accepting it, because I know better things has to be there. That's why, with all this scared, trembling hands, foggy thoughts, I made one again decision, that is this. This is my 23rd birthday countdown. I'm officially 61 days, coming back to the point of the video, 1 days away. And I made this cute little countdown thing. I also wrote a little memo, and there's only one thing I wrote. It's that, hey, I'm making this countdown of 61 days from today until my 23rd birthday of mine. I can't believe it's almost an year and 8 months of no contact with others. By others, I mean every other person. Expressing my thoughts online that feels swimming alone inside my head. One thing I'm so proud of myself, that I never hurted anyone knowingly, even though my heart felt like rock and life as hot deserted island, because it's so hot. If I remember 2025, I will always remember the hotness, the temptation, the heat throughout my whole body. People say that I got shivers, I got cold feet. Honestly, even in the coldest days, I felt so hot, because there was this burning desire. If you ask me how my 2020, like 22nd, 23rd birthday looked like, I will say it was so hot. I felt so hot with them. I've been so obsessed with the aura reading recently. I know it sounds crazy, but yeah. And if I go through the aura reading, I believe it's having less of the blues, but most of the red. I don't know what. I mean, literally there are blues everywhere, but it happened like that. So, yeah, I'm just gonna keep this countdown. I really wanted to. I just got this thing of uploading this video, because at times like this, I don't know why it's could not go as like someone planned it. Maybe because I'm not ready to accept what someone has to offer. But creating your own way is so difficult, even though I've not started yet. So that's why it's difficult. That's where the whole big creators or motivational speakers could just clip it out and just say, yeah, see her, that's where you just lack. But they might also clip out this and just say that, damn, that's the very first point you do when you're trying to be someone out there who's so outspoken, so generous, so confident, the Wonder Woman, the girl, the dream girl, the superstar, the tycoon, whatever, the one who knows everywhere. It's really wonderful that even at the slowest times, I can't think myself just being dead. I always see myself being loud, being there who's just like, people just call out their name like Sonali, Sonali, Sonali. People just be like, I love you, I love what you're doing, you have changed and changed for good. I'm so happy you live. It was so amazing. The only thought itself just makes me so good. I don't know what's gonna happen in the 61 days. Am I gonna commit to it or not? But one thing is for sure, that I already know how worse it gets. But I also know that this is my moment to take steps and know significantly that I will not get overnight success. That's why I have to do it on a scale basis where I can just have enough to lay down, to know and plan the next days. I ideally think that even though with my life I do come with certain responsibilities, like being a daughter, being a sister, and given this time frame being so important, I'm also in the family of 8, and I can't just literally with this like forever, because like he just said that he could not accept it, but somewhere in his heart he never chose this life. He obviously wanted things to get better for him, but some things are just out of your slip, like him being just not able to see, which was a constant thing. But the perception, the sense, the persuasion, the power, the charisma, the smile, everything was so mesmerizing. So even though I am 61 days away, 28th August 2025, there's gonna be 28 October 2025. There's gonna be next year where certainly I have access to this, where I might be making this on a golden sheet of paper, but even those days I really wanna see myself getting everything back, because I never chose this life. I chose to live with it because I never really chose anything. And the very first time I'm making a choice, I am so scared that it just feels so empty, because I feel I'm in this big auditorium where I can just only listen what future me has to say, but there are no one, literally no one. I'm in front of this huge crowd where I'm just like seeing myself being shining and clinked off and being praised, but yeah, I can see it. It's so funny that my heart itself wanna be everything I'm not today. So funny because I don't even know that the desires I have, how long it's gonna take.
or where from where, but if it is one last wish I have for this birthday, is to have everything. Is to be happy, love myself more. XOXO.